Man, it's kind of like all I've been thinking about this whole trip. I mean, I remember watching Mahdi golf for his great game the way he did, and going in double overtime with Malik. Like those highlights, like that stuff that as a freshman, you'll grow up believing you'll be in that spot one day, and to kind of go full circle again, it was a really special moment. And me and Coop, we didn't say it, but we both knew this is a special game for us, because it's knowing we played the same team as a freshman, now we're here as seniors, taking the lead. It was a really special night.
Do you think that, your toughness seemed to win this game a lot, just collectively. Do you think teams are surprised by that?
I think so. I think our toughness, our grit, is something that it's hard to prepare for and kind of prepare for, because no matter how bad it gets or what the situation looks like, we are all trained, mentally and physically to, keep going, keep pushing. We have an amazing coach that pushes us, every single day, where good is not good enough. Sometimes great isn't good enough. We want to be the best version we can be, and to be pushed every single day, not only physically but mentally, I think that's what helps us in situations like this, being extra tough than the other team.
To see shots fall like that, to be the weapon you guys were offensive, Jesse hitting three, Kerr, it sort of shows that the outside shot doesn't have to be a weakness for this team. What did that do for you guys today, and what does that do just moving forward for you?
I think it was huge because it gave us confidence. Because we've been shooting so good all week during practice, and everyone took a step on shooting good in practice to shooting in games, because that's something we've been okay, shots will fall. But the biggest thing is to keep that confidence. After last game, I said I'm going to come back and I'm going to keep the same level of confidence, even though I went 0 for 4. But when everyone keeps their confidence and they keep shooting, someday they're all going to fall in. And today, everyone had good shooting day, and
It's like that shot release of yours has been looking good for several weeks, not a few months. Haven't seen it in games yet, but you had no doubt that at some point those shots were going to start going in.
Yeah, after last game, I didn't make 1-3, but in the moment, it pissed me off and motivated me. But the next day, it didn't affect my confidence, because I know that I put the work in, and I know how many shots I put up, and I know that they're supposed to go in. Because when you put in that work, they're supposed to go in. And like I said before, confidence is the biggest thing.
And then you make a couple threes, then you're seeing defenders jump out at you, then you have a shot fake 17-footer off the dribble.
That's another thing too, is once we started shooting, once we established that we were knocking down shots, then other things started opening up. We could get the ball into the post, we can make cuts, we can kind of attack to the basket, kick and drive, drive and kick out, stuff like that. So when we establish our shooting early, it really opens up our offense.
How much was Jesse a part of this game plan? How much of it was organic based on that long stretch?
Yeah, shout out to Jess, man. Shout out to Jesse, man. He had an amazing game. I mean, he, every day he comes in, he works so hard, and he has that 3-point shot. And I feel like today he really, showed everybody that he has it. And I feel like, Jesse really today, like I said before, he put his foot down, and he really showed us that, hey, we can get some scoring out of him. He can stretch the floor out for us, and he's just a hard worker.
Was it something? Was he expecting? I asked him this, and I don't know. He just said he had to stay ready. But was he part of the game plan this much, or was it just hey, keep him in there because he's rolling right now?
Yeah, he's always a part of our game plan. He's always expected to be in that rotation. I feel like, he's trying to find himself. He's trying to kind of establish, his game, because especially coming off a redshirt year as a freshman, it's hard. It's hard to know without stepping on any toes or without making mistakes. But he came into the last couple games, we weren't sure he might not get a lot of playing time, but I feel like today he went in, he did his job, and we kept him in there, because something about Coach is that when you do your job and you do your job well, he rewards you for that by keeping you in. And Jess did as good of a job as anybody.
I want to ask you about Jeremy. You've been around 3 years with him, sort of where he is right now. What the difference between him today, being out there, and maybe him a couple years ago or him a year ago?
I have to. The growth that he's had, ever since, coming, in this program. I feel like, not only with me, but like with everybody, he's developed such a good relationship with everybody because he's our point guard. He's like, like he's our point guard, and trying to find the right way to say it. He's done such an amazing job growing to being like our leader. Like we have 4 captains, but he's done the best job of making sure he holds everybody accountable. He gets people shots, and he's done an amazing job of being a true point guard. Looking to get assists first is something that a lot of guards might not want to do, but when he does that, it opens up everything for us. And Jeremy Fears knows that like the way for us to win is if him sharing the ball, and once he shares the ball, we get it back to him. Us as his teammates, we want to reward him by giving him his assists, but also kicking back for his points. There's some times where he'll go. Last game, he goes such a long stretch for assists, but then eventually he's going to knock down a couple threes, and he's going to get to the basket. He's going to draw fouls, get free throws. His growth has been unbelievable, man. I'm happy that he's my point guard.
For you, just being able to hit the mid-range, get inside the paint, get the three-pointers, how much was that helping with the confidence throughout the night and able to contribute? What was just working for you?
It was good, man. I practice the shots every day for hundreds of reps, and to see that go in, it was great. It really built up the confidence, but also built up the energy. And something about this team is that energy is contagious. And when it comes to the people on the court, to our coaches, to the bench, to the fans, that just gets us going. And to see those shots go in, you just got to build off of that. And I feel like that's what gave us such a good kind of first punch.
Thanks, guys.